students, this is your Algebra 1B credit recovery teacher, and I'm going to be doing a video on histograms, which is section 1.03 of your course. So the learning targets we're going to cover today are making a histogram from a data set and also determining the skew of a histogram. So at this time, I'll have you assess yourself on where you fall for the learning target. And we'll do this again at the end of class. So to start off, I'm going to tell you what a histogram is. It's basically another way of saying a bar graph. So bar graphs measure the frequency of data points, and they're really just a visualization for a bunch of data points that you might have. In this example that we have on the screen, we have the ticket cost of various theme parks. So it looks like there's quite a few theme parks here, and all of the various ticket prices that they have for each theme park is listed here. And what histograms can do is give us a visualization of this data. Many of you may be more familiar with the term bar graph. This is a visualization of the points that we have here. So I'll bring your focus to the first section that we have here. It lists the cost of ticket prices that are between $7 and $14. And in this list on the left-hand side here, and it's already in order, we have 5 different ticket prices that are between $7 and $14. And that is why the bar of this graph is listed at the value of 5. The second group of values is between $15 and $22. And we can see that there are 7 values that are between 15 and 22. And that's why the top of the bar graph is at the number 7 up here. And then between 23 and 30, we have exactly 4 ticket prices that are in that section, and that's why the top of that bar graph goes to the value of 4. And then there's no tickets that are between $31 and $38, and so that space is left empty. And then lastly, we have the last 2 values that are in the last section between $39 and $46. So I want to show you how this is going to look when you take it on your unit test. I'm actually going to review one of the problems from the pre-test, and it says to create a histogram for the data set. Click and drag on the horizontal axis to adjust the bar heights. And we have our values listed here. They're not in order. If you want to put them in order, you can write them down on a scratch piece of paper and put them in order, and it might be able to be easier to figure out which categories each of these will be in. But we're going to count the number of data points that are between 1 and 10 as a value. And so I can see that I have a 2, a 9, and a 5. So there's 3 points that are between 1 and 10. And so I'm going to click and drag this up to the number 3. And then we want to see how many data points are between 11 and 20. So looking again, I believe there's just the number 12 that is between 11 and 20. And so that's going to go up only 1 place. Between 21 and 30, we have the number 21 and 29. Again, this might be a little bit easier if you write them down in order on a piece of paper. And then between 31 and 40, we have the numbers 38 and 32. And so there's just 2 of those there as well. And so this is how the histogram would look for this problem. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is histogram skew. So skew is the measure of a slanted distribution in histograms. So this basically is us describing how the histograms or the bar graphs are shaped. And you want to think about, if you aren't quite sure, where is the slant, if there exists one. So I have these pieces down here that we are going to correctly place under the various vocabulary words at the top. There's approximately bell-shaped, and choosing between options A, B, C, or D, the one that is approximately bell-shaped is going to be option C. Notice how it has this sort of bell shape to it. This is what's considered kind of like a normal distribution. The next one is uniform. So we have 3 options to choose from next. Uniform, in other words, could also mean something that's consistent. Like when we think about uniforms that people wear in class or in schools, if they require them, it's some sort of consistency to that. So with that in mind, option D is going to be something that's uniform, or basically all of the bar graphs are more or less the same height. That's considered uniform. And then the last 2 are being skewed left or skewed right. And this is where that hint comes in handy. Skewed left means where is the slant to the left side. So that's actually going to be option B. I actually, personally, when I think of skewed left, I might think like, where is the majority of the data? I might think, oh, this is on the left-hand side. But in reality, this diagram right here is considered skewed left, and this one would be skewed right because that slant is on the right-hand side with this example and on the left with this one. So that's it for histograms. At this time, I'll have you assess yourself on the learning targets, making a histogram for a data set, and also determining the skew for a histogram.